let's paint some white armor. Hello human of the internet, and welcome to my juicy video. Today I'm going to be painting a Stormtrooper bust, which is actually a token for my Mandalorian Monopoly set. Now, to introduce you to the project, here's past Frankie. So, I've got to try and figure out how to paint this guy. The reason I picked to do a Stormtrooper this week is because I want to practice white. In my personal collection I don't really have anything that is white, so it's a good chance to practice. I'm going to try and figure out as I go, so let's get on with it. You can join me for the journey, or not if you want to leave, bye. But if you stay, I love you forever. Figuring out how to paint the Stormtrooper was a very experimental experience. The first thing I did was to apply a blue wash over the whole thing to try and better define the shapes for myself when applying the white. It is safe to say this step was entirely unnecessary and made the model look like a butt, and not a nice butt, but an ugly butt. Obviously the majority of this guy is going to be white, so I started to apply Corax White by Games Workshop over the whole model, leaving thin lines where I thought shadows would occur and a piece of armour would end. This required a couple of layers to get a solid and smooth finish. Top tip, many of you will know that Corax White is notoriously chalky, and not the nicest to work with. To fix this, I poured a tiny bit of Lahmian Medium into the pot, stirred it with the handle end of a paintbrush and gave it a good shake. Now my Corax White is a lot thinner and acts just like a normal paint. At this stage I thought it would be a good time to go and sketch in all the black areas. This includes the lenses, mouth, eyebrow piece and the weird chin thingies. I simply applied a layer of Abaddon Black on all of these areas. Next I went ahead and applied another blue wash. This time it looked like less of a butt and was closer to what I had in mind. For this I used Drakenhof Nightshade. Now you're probably wondering why I just decided to shade with blue rather than a grey, because surely a darker white is a grey colour? Well, now it's time to move on to the part of the show that I know will be your new favourite segment. It's... If one was strolling along the boardwalk on a hot summer's day, they may notice a blue tint to certain shadows. In nature, this occurs when the bright yellow light of the sun is blocked, causing a shadow. However, there must be some light hitting the shadow area, otherwise it will be completely black, like the void in my soul. The light that does not reach the area is usually blue light from the other parts of the sky. This is why a blue tint occurs in outdoor shadows. Indoors, however, where there isn't direct sunlight, the shadows won't appear blue, as this usually only happens because of the sky. Pair this with a white background that has no pigmentation, then the blue tint will be very noticeable. Hence blue is an excellent shade colour when painting white. Plus, you know, grey's a bit boring. Once the wash is dry, I'm going to go in with a near white grey and go over all the areas I want to look white again. Thanks to the last two stages, the recesses should now be bluish white. I also take this opportunity to leave a line down the middle of the breastplate to make it look more like the chest area isn't just one piece of flat armour, but instead one that contours to the shape of the chest. As you may have noticed, the paint wasn't having the nicest finish. Perhaps I had watered it down way too much, but after 4 layers of Ulthuan Grey, I was happy. Moving on to the next stage, you can really see this coming together, and all the shadow areas have a nice dark blue tint and help define the shape of this model. Lastly, for the white, we apply a white scar to the edges and most raised parts of each segment. Now, I'm willing to say that all the white areas are done, so let's go ahead and highlight those black areas. That starts with a layer of dark grey, in this case Storm Vermin Fur. Use this to cover around 70% of the black. On the lenses, you want to focus your attention on the centre, leaving the edges black to help sell the illusion that they are set back into the helmet. I then repeat this basic process with Dawnstone, which is a more mid-grey tone. This time I make sure to cover a smaller area. On the chin and eyebrow piece, you want to focus it on the top area as it is where the light will be hitting from. The final highlight is with the Ulthuan Grey again. You only really want to apply an edge highlight to the eyebrow ridge and a small dot on the other areas. This layer is what really sells the lenses as being reflective. I'm really quite happy with how this turned out, and it's making me really want to add an apothecary to my Dark Angels army because I quite enjoyed painting this white armour. If any of you want to test out some techniques when it comes to painting without risking ruining a model, I would suggest doing what I've done here, and if you have a Monopoly set, find the tokens and try to paint them. They're oddly good for this sort of thing. I for one think that this little guy was excellent for practicing. He does have a pretty horrible line that runs all the way over his helmet, but I couldn't really remedy that, and I don't care too much. It's not like it's trying to be a showstopper piece, unlike some of my miniatures which I want to look beautiful. I've got a few more videos planned at the moment, but I may revisit these Monopoly tokens. In particular, IG-11 and Mando himself. I reckon that their heads will be excellent for practicing some steel NMM. I've done gold, but I have not done a nice silver, so might practice on those. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please consider subscribing or sharing with your mini painting friends. Also consider leaving a comment in the comment section below, obviously, about what you might like to see in future videos, and potentially give this video a thumbs up. All of it helps. I shall be leaving links to my Patreon and social media services in the description below, but until next time, I will see you later.